This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
You are now in tune into to the Dead Monkeys in Outer Space podcast with your host, J2ThaMar. Listener discretion.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
1. No, ma'am, you don't need to pay for it. She needs to pay for it. You made the mistake. She made the mistake. It's not her, sir. It's honestly not her fault. Oh my God, I got it on camera, and you assaulted her. You just hit her. You need to get a lawyer, ma'am. He just assaulted you, and I got it on camera. He just hit you.
I know people personally. I'm done. I'm not watching any more football. I'm done. Because the NFL is just trying to buy patriotism. Because see, Skip, if you had instituted this, say, like 30 years ago, got no problem with it. But we know what happened. The military started getting NFL. They started cashing $1 million checks, Joy. And all of a sudden, they became real patriotic. So it's amazing, Skip, what kind of patriotism money can buy.
You were right. So, I'm going to leave the commissioner out of this because he does work.
MS-13, these are animals. They're coming into our country, we're getting them out. They come in again, we're getting them out. We need strong immigration laws. We have the weakest laws in the entire world. We have laws that are laughed at on immigration. So when the MS-13 comes in, when the other gang members come into our country, I refer to them as animals. And guess what? I always will.
We're going to go live over now to the White House to hear President Trump, who's making a statement following the shootings in Santa Fe in Texas.
Weapons out of the hands of those who pose a threat to themselves and to others. Everyone must work together at every level of government to keep our children safe. May God heal the injured, and may God comfort the wounded, and may God be with the victims and with the victims' families. Very sad day. Very, very sad. On another note,
Dead Monkeys in Outer Space podcast. I'll be your host for this journey. This is J2ThaMar, J2ThaMar. Follow or swallow on Twitter and Instagram. And be sure to check the show out on blackjunction.tv and YouTube. Also like the Twitter pages and the Instagram pages, Dead Monkeys in Outer Space podcast. I want to give a shout out to my boy, Kazama Fury. You can catch his videos on YouTube and BitChute as well. Kazama Fury, Kazama Fury. Check him out. He has some good shit up there. But this is America Part 2. Yeah, man, I had to do another episode of this. I think I'm gonna make it a series, so it's gonna pop up every once in a while. Just a series of clips and things I'm, gonna talk about. So, it's just things I found interesting. But before I get into the This is America series, I wanted to say something about the Harvey Weinstein thing. It just, I don't know, I just feel weird about it. It's like he's arrested. I think he's on house arrest or whatever. He posted bail, but I don't know. I just think it's some distraction. I think it's something that's they're doing that to say, hey, look over here, right, really quick for the next couple of months or whatever, or however long it plays out. But it's just weird that they have things like that at certain times. Like the Supreme Court ruling came for class action lawsuits where a lot of employers are banning the employees from doing that. Like, you can't get together, you say, hey, Jimmy, aren't they racist? And the Fred said the same thing. Well, yeah, we should all get together and do something. And it's like, no, you can't do that no more. You could dig it. So it's like, I don't know. I think that's pretty big. I'm oversimplifying it. I'm pretty sure it's more probably complex than that. But I'm just like, wow, this is fucking crazy. Like, you can't say, hey, this company is sexist or racist or whatever, phobia or whatever. It's, phobic. It's like, damn. Okay. I don't know. I just think that that's something big that a lot of people didn't really focus on or whatever. We're focusing on Morgan Freeman and his 8 accusers. Allegedly, right? You gotta throw that word in there, allegedly. I just found it that weird, the timing of a lot of this stuff. But what else, really quick? What kind of pissed me off? The picture of Pusha T's new album, Daytona. It's a picture of Whitney Houston's bathroom, when the bathroom of the hotel that she died in. And so it's like, it's the bathroom sink, and it's just like all types of shit all over it, like paraphernalia or whatever, and it looks like kind of distorted picture or whatever, but it's I don't know, I thought it was insensitive, tacky, and to come from another black person to put this out, I was like, wow, that's like, you guys just are just saying, hey, fuck it, let's just do whatever we want to do. And, regardless of how it looks to other people in terms of kind of blemishing our iconic figures. It's bad enough that, they all get, tarnished or broken down or discredited. Michael Jackson, Prince, even, Cosby to an extent. But I'm not saying that these guys were angels or anything like that, but it's just like, why are we constantly putting them down? Like, people still diss Tupac. Why? I don't get it. They have a documentary coming out about Whitney Houston, and it's about her like sexuality. And I'm just like, well, Whitney Houston was a singer. Like, I know more about her singing than her sexuality. And I'm just like, wait, what are they trying to do? I'm just like, they're trying to push the gay agenda even further, one. And two, again, when you look at these people in the spotlight, they break them down for some reason. They build them up to break them down. I was like, why are they doing this? Because, they're going to introduce another singer, like, hey, this person is better than Whitney Houston. I don't know. It's just weird. I didn't like it. And another thing, I don't know if you guys saw this story. I mean, pretty sure you did. I hope you did. It was a story about Houston teenager, Zayvion Parker, who was allegedly, which I heard in the news a million times, was kidnapped by, white racists or whatever. He said that he was coming home from school. They pretty much, snatched him up. He described the truck that they snatched him up in. He got beat up or whatever. And then they went to a house to like torture him and stuff like that. But he ended up getting away once they went to another room. And a young lady, I think Kamisha, that's her name, she found him running on the street with no shoes on, and he was sweating or whatever the case may be. And they took him back to his mother, and it was an investigation. Well, I don't even know if it's an investigation at this point, but that was the story. But the thing is, you didn't see the story that much. I was like, why? Like, why is this happening? Like, all right, say if this is all made up. Say if this is all made up. Allegedly, right? I remember the Aziz Ansari case came out, right? And it was allegedly that he sexually assaulted a woman that he went on a date with. When the story came out, everybody read it as, it was just like some mixed signals, more or less. Men and women. But it was alleged. But the thing is, his career was put on hold because she accused him. It's like, wow. So that was a story, though, that everybody ran with. This story is not even on a major news networks as much or whatever the case may be. And I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. Again, I tell you, they don't give a fuck about children. I'm telling you. They show it all the time. They do not give a fuck about children. And the way I looked at it is like, wow, they were actually, and the ones that did run with the story, like the local news or I think Newsweek even picked it up. They're showing the kid's face. I said, why are they showing the victim? who's also a minor. He's 13 years old, a minor, a victim. Yet the certain media outlets that showed it, they plastered his face everywhere. Shit, Newsweek even had a different picture than everyone has already seen. They have another picture. And I'm like, why expose the victim's identity? Shit, I still haven't seen the woman who accused Aziz Ansari. I haven't seen her face. If you Google it, it's like pixelated and all that. Or blurred out or whatever. Yet Zayvion Parker will live with this for the rest of his life. School, jobs, women, in public. But the word allegedly is littered throughout all of the articles about it. Understandable. But I believe that the media's needle is like stutter step into the direction that he's lying. I think that's why they're showing his identity, to more or less serve as a punishment. Look, little nigga, you know what? This is what you get for exposing us. But the thing that which went on a little bit crazy, Zayvion Parker stated that there was other boys in the house, and there was guns and you know, a chair or whatever the case may be. That's what the other media outlets didn't report. I was like, wow, why they didn't report like more of the story? Because I heard that there was more to it. There was other boys there, and they was ready to torture him and stuff like that. And then they said that the vehicle was found, which was a truck with like flames on it. The vehicle was found. It was like, oh, nobody's in there. Case closed, right? But I think they said the cops also went to the place where he said that he was taken to, and they found guns and like shell casings in a chair. So what is that about? That must be a serious ass game of fucking musical chairs. I don't know. But the story is going nowhere. I don't know. Maybe they're abducting these kids and they're kidnapping them, killing them, raping them. Yeah, that's what they do. They, you know, a lot of these racists are closet homos. You know that, right? Look at their fraternities and stuff like that. Hey, Jared, you have to sing the national anthem with my balls in your mouth. Like, who does shit like that? I think the Syracuse video came out, was it like a few weeks ago, and dude was on his knees with his mouth open. Really? Oh, man. I don't know. It's like this story was just like in the air. I don't know. That people say, oh, well, what if he's lying? What if he is? What if that chick that accused Aziz Ansari, what if she was lying? What if anybody's lying? What if you're lying? You know? I don't know. And then the girl who found him, Kamisha, she did a Facebook Live video. And yeah, and I watched the whole video. And the EMS worker is talking to her, like asking her to describe the situation and everything like that. So the EMS worker is like, that's so weird. And she was just like, well, no, racism is still here. Like, what are you talking about? He said, oh, that doesn't happen here, you know. I was like, wait, hold up. Isn't this in Texas? Texas, right? In the deep heart of Texas. Texas, right? So you know what I did? I actually Googled something, right? Just to see, you know, because he said it doesn't happen in East Houston. Now, I don't have East Houston, like, kind of crime stats, but I have, 2016 hate crimes in Texas, right? 2 years ago, right? So hold on, let me just read the first part really quick, so you get an understanding where I'm coming from with this. The total number of reported Texas hate crimes incidents in 2016 was 178. This represents a decrease of 7.8% when compared to 2015. These incidents involved 201 victims, 210 offenders, and resulted in a total of 186 offenses. All right. And they said a decrease. So obviously 2015 shit was off the hook. But again, how do we know who's lying? Right? How do we know how many cases go reported? I would say a lot of them. But I'm just going to read you really quick about the hate crime offenders by racial group. Right? And I'm going to start in I'm going to do it in ascending order, right? All right, so 17.6%, the volume is 37, meaning the incidents. Unknown racial group, right? 10%, the volume is 21, multiracial group. 0%, 0 incidents, Native Hawaiian / Pacific Islander. 0.5%, 1 incident, Asian. I guess that's Gordon Liu fucking shit up still, right? Still the one guy. 0%, 0 incidents, American Indian, Alaskan Native. All right, here's where it gets juicy, right? 22.4%, 47 incidents, black, right? 49.5%, 104 incidents. Again, 49.5, you can round that up to 50, right? 104 incidents. You could guess the group, right? So I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Now, this guy says it doesn't happen in Texas, right? This doesn't happen in Texas, said the EMS work. Is weird. And I found that like kind of offensive. Like, really? Like you're being a jackass now. You're insulting my intelligence. You're lying. You're clearly lying. So that makes me believe that maybe that they had something or they know who's a part of this abduction from this kid. Maybe they know something. I don't know. Maybe they're in on it because he's being disingenuous purposely. Now, the numbers I read to you, right? Now, if you took the black, Asian, the multiracial group, and the unknown, and you put them all together versus the 104 incidents committed by whites, it'll be 106. Only 2 more, and I just combined 3 other groups with the blacks. Really? And I'm just like, so you're being disingenuous. I'm going to read you another one real quick before I get off this story. All right, the location where a lot of this happens at. In 2016, hate crimes occurred most frequently in residences and homes. The second most common locations were highways, roads, streets, and alleys, followed by parking lots and garages. Right? So hate crime location percentage, 14.5%, 26 incidents, government or public building. Right? Then the second largest number, the largest number of it all, 42.5%, 76 incidents. Restaurant. I thought that was very interesting because you could get discriminated by the people who won't serve you, right? The people that's there. There was a video I saw recently where a guy, I think they was at Chuck E. Cheese. There was a black guy and a white guy, and the black guy like took a chair and like broke it over his back or whatever. I don't know if that had something to do with race, but I'm gonna put a shot in the dark and say they was going at it. But it's weird, and I was just like, why is this EMS working saying that? That's kind of foul. That's kind of like he's lying. He's being disingenuous. But anyway, this is America, right? And the NFL, actually, not going to get into NFL yet. The Korean store owner that assaulted the young black girl, that video went viral, right? And if you watch the surveillance video, he didn't smack her. But it was labeled as that, right? It was labeled as, Korean owner slaps, black girl worker or whatever the case may be. But if you watch the surveillance video, he didn't stop. He pushed her, But, I had a problem with that because I'm just like, wow. he disrespected. He had no respect for that girl to do that to her. And there's a lot of reasons why I believe he didn't have respect for that girl. You know, but people automatically were angry about the video, and rightfully so. But I seen people, you know, like, oh, we should go shoot up the place, or we should kick his ass, we go fuck him up, kill him, or whatever, stuff like that. I'm just like, wow. But y'all didn't even see the whole video. Again, who's lying? Now, the thing is, the gay guy because he was definitely a fruit cup, the guy who's recording the video, he was all jumping up around, you know, like a chihuahua, you know. Oh, he just did this. He just did this. Good thing he recorded it. That's a good thing. I'm not mad about that. But it's just like, I don't know. It gets to a point to where it's just like, damn, like we're tired of people treating us like this. And then what actions do you take? You know, do you really want to call the cops? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then the main part about it was nothing but black people around her, just, you know, like, yeah, I seen it. No actions happened whatsoever. Not saying that if I was there, I'd have jumped over the counter and kicked his ass or anything like that. But I don't know. It's just like, you know, for one, he can't treat nobody like that in the workplace anyway. So he should be automatically out of there. You know, but we'll see. We'll see. But the Korean owner didn't have no respect for her. Why? He pushed her like she was damn near a man. Like, get out of here. Get the fuck out of here, pretty much. Why would he? I guarantee you, if she was a white girl, he wouldn't have did that. Oh, here you go making it about race. No, it's the truth. You know he wouldn't have did that. And you know why? Because he know that he would have had to answer for that shit. From white folks. He knew he would have had to answer. You know, the most of the black people going to do is yell and probably kick his ass. The white folks will shut that shit down. There's a difference. So he would know better. He know that, you know, what's she going to do? The most is go get her father and everything, and I'll call the police, and police will most likely try to bust the black people ass and didn't do or say anything to me. Go ahead, call them. And I'm just like, wow, it was just like total like disrespect. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It was an uneasy thing, but you know, it's crazy how you could film a real incident, but it could get twisted a certain way depending on the point of view, and people are ready to kill over it. So imagine all the fake shit that they putting out there purposely to troll you, to get you to push some agenda or whatever. What, fake news or whatever the case may be. That's crazy. But I thought that was very interesting. How, you know, people are still running with it. You know, like I don't know, they probably already beat the guy up already. I don't know. I'll follow it up and see what happened to that guy. But the NFL story kind of bugged me out. I mean, it was known. I believe they was going to do this shit anyway. But I don't know. It's not about the national anthem. It's not. And that's the reason why I played the clip with Shannon Sharp. And he told the truth. And I'm actually glad that there's a voice on TV that actually speaks towards truths. You know, like they're not doing it because the players are kneeling down because of police brutality, and they don't give a fuck about that shit. That's part of the fucking system. They don't care. Shit, when I was in high school, I fucking went to the principal's office 3 times actually more than 3 times, because I didn't stand for the national anthem. Pledge Allegiance. You know, I was like, yeah, I don't agree with it. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't sound like it applies to my people. No. Well, you'll have detention. Oh, okay, whatever. As long as I ain't got to stand. And they punish you for doing it. But it's not, the Kaepernick situation is not about the flag at all. And Shannon Sharp hit it right on the nail. It's about the money that the military is giving to the NFL to promote well, pretty much to recruit. That's all it's doing. It's just to recruit more people. You know what I'm saying? And continue wars and taking over and to keep this system up. What system? This racist system. That's all it is. Think about it. How you gonna have? I think who is it? Dr. Cress Welsing. Rest in peace. She's like pretty much like, how is the minority ruling the world, controlling the world? There's more people of color than anything, you know. And I was like, yeah, I agree. Obviously, you know, it's this fact. So why do you want more people in the military or more? Like, we spend more money on weapons than we do for fucking education. Sad. So the Department of Defense, you know, is spending taxpayers' money to fucking advertise on fucking, you know, doing Monday Night Football or whatever the fuck, you know, with the planes flying over, the big giant flag in the middle of the field, the commercials. I remember one time, one of my friends, he had a camouflage NFL jersey, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't see that. Like, where'd you get that from? You know, he told me, and I was just like, oh, okay. It looks pretty cool, camouflage. But then I started noticing, and I'm just like, damn, I see all these fucking commercials when I watch football. Now, I mentioned this before. I believe I mentioned it on the Everything Else podcast with Jay Driller. Follow him off a motherfucking cliff. But I believe I mentioned it before because it was kind of like weird. You know, it's like you got, like, for instance, you watch a football game, you see beer commercials, car commercials, and military commercials. All the time. I was like, yeah, they want us to drink beer. Yeah, they want us to eat at Arby's or whatever the fuck. And they want us to drive cars, and they also want us to join the military. Okay. And I was like, wow, this is excessive. It was like blatantly obvious what they're doing. So that's what they do. They grease these owners' pockets or whatever. And that's why it was a unanimous decision. You know, you might have a Rooney come out there or what's the guy from the Jets on or whatever. You might have them come out there and say, well, if a player pushes the protest, we'll play the fine or whatever the case may be. Or if players want to protest, they can go in the, locker room and do that or whatever the case may be. And then you're going to see, to me, I don't know. The NFL is just like, really? Because the only thing they saying is, like, hey, and niggas, just do it the hell we say, and don't try to, speak up about anything. And then it blurs this line between, like, well, actually, it doesn't really blur. It's pretty much the freedom of speech, you know, like the First Amendment. It's like, wait, so, they can't protest or what's going on or whatever. Some people say it's attack on freedom of speech. Some people say it's not, whatever. And it's funny, the same day, Trump, people could criticize me on Twitter. I can't ban that. So he's like saying that, well, like, oh, my freedom of speech is, people have the right to say what they want to me, so whatever. But I'm like, wait, that makes no sense. You're telling these guys not to say nothing. Well, they can't say nothing. I don't know. I think the story's going to drag on for more, but you're going to see a lot of these players, right? And I understand people have bills and they have family to take care of and things like that. But it comes to that, like, what cost do you, stand up in the face of adversity? Like, when you stand up to people that automatically doesn't have your best interest at heart, they don't give a fuck about these players. Yo, you want to see one of the most racist websites you could go on any sports forum. Any sports forum. Go back, go to profootballsports.com and just read the comments. Any story. If a black athlete do something, look at the same comments of a white athlete doing the same exact thing, and you'll see the difference. Straight up. It's just straight racist. It's like Stormfront or some shit. It's like, goddamn. Like, what the fuck? Like Reuben Foster, he got his ex-girlfriend actually accused him of all this shit or whatever the case may be, and he had to go to court for it. And then she admitted that she lied. No penalties against her, though. She could say whatever the fuck she want, and then she could ruin this man's career, his life, how he makes money. But nothing happens to her. He can say, oh, I didn't do it. That's not good enough. We believe her more than we believe you. Again, who's lying? But I don't know. We'll see these players that actually stand up for something or say, hey, that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember Josh Norman, what team he's doing? Redskins now, right? Which is another offensive term. But people say, oh, it's not offensive. You know. Are you a person who is offending? No. Then shut the fuck up. But he, I remember I think he played on the Carolina Panthers at the time, and he had these red, white, and blue cleats, right? So he's with the program, right? He's with this national anthem shit or whatever. But he got fined, I believe, like $5,000 for some wearing red, white, and blue kicks or whatever, cleats. But what happened was he signed his name or whatever. He autographed them maybe or whatever. Oh, that's disrespecting the flag. What? Okay. I'm like, wow. So let's see who the players are gonna be in the locker room and who are not. I just want to see that part. I can give a fuck about the game, honestly. And you know what? A team that I guess gets paid the most out of this, because they pay teams to promote their shit. Guess what team gets paid the most to promote this patriotism? I kind of gave it away. So it's hashtag paid patriotism. That's what it is. New England Patriots, by the way, is the team that gets paid the most. Funny that I had them mentioned on the last This Is America podcast. Well, episode. The New England Patriots. Wow. Who would have thought? All of these teams get paid to promote that shit. And the Patriots get paid the most. Right? Makes sense, right? Patriots, whatever. And I remember Jeff Flake. Jeff Flake actually, was talking about this. I remember Jeff Flake was talking about Trump before. And he really recently mentioned something about this, because he's actually the one that calls it out, like, yo, this Department of Defense is spending your taxpaying dollars on fucking commercials for the fucking military. Like, really? Wow. And like I said, that's just to keep this system up in place, intact. It's to keep it going. To keep people oppressed or take over countries or shit like that. But anyway, Jeff Flake, I remember he did that speech about Trump, and then Trump started, and it's funny because the reason why I started not listening to Jeff Flake, but became interested in what he was saying, is because his name, Jeff Flake, I thought it was funny, I was like, why is they have beef or whatever? And so, Trump would say like little funny, stupid shit to troll him or whatever. So I was like, wow, that was interesting. But he said something very interesting in that speech. He said, Trump uses like words and phrases, or I believe he said that, like words or phrases that was used by Stalin. And I was like, yeah. That's crazy. Now, if you don't know who Stalin is, just Google him. Do your research, right? That's what everybody says. Do your research. That guy killed millions of people. More than these other crazy, supreme leaders or whatever you want to call them. More than a lot of them. So he was saying, Jeff Flake was saying, the president is using that same, wording or whatever. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Because I think, obviously I think the president wants to just get rid of people, or he even told the NFL players, oh, if you don't like it, get out the country. Like, really? This is not your country anyway, just to let you know. It's not your country. Mr. President. But whose country is it? I don't know. It's up for debate, right? My country. How about that? But it's weird because the other clip I played, speaking about the president, is he called the MS-13 gang animals. And I'm not defending them in no way, you know. Those guys are pretty ruthless. They're put it this way, it's a very serious gang that's out there, and they have like tens of thousands of members. You know, from El Salvador, they got some in the tri-state area. I mean, it's California. They're a serious gang. Shit, I remember in Newark, they executed. I believe it was like three black teenagers, and then they raped one, and I think they tried to kill her, but I think she survived, and she testified against them. And what they were doing was pretty much, it was recruitment for their, you know, so, you know, army, if you want to use that terminology, their gang. They killed them kids. And the one that survived, they actually raped her, you know, because, you know, that's how it is. It's like, hey, we don't like you, we hate you, but, you know, we'll take that pussy. We'll take that pussy. We'll take that. We'll not like nothing about you, but yeah, we'll take some pussy. Right? Anyway, I thought it was really sad when it happened. That really was crazy. But one of the things about the gang, and I believe that's why he's so adamant about deporting them and catching them and things like that, is because they have a code. They stick together. You know, their recruitment requires, you know, killing kids in the schoolyard type of shit. You know, they have codes. It's not just, hey, yo, send $9.95 plus shipping and handling and get an MS-13 starter kit. No. That doesn't happen. I'm pretty sure, you know, they could get infiltrated somehow by different government agencies, but it's like, put it this way, it's unlike the Bloods and Crips at this point. You know, Bloods and Crips was different before, but it's like now it has no structure for the most part. Their shit has a structure. And I think they stick to their code, so it's harder to just, you know, tear them apart, you know. Shit, you know, anybody's a Blood and Crip now. You could Google what gang signs to do and the dances and the terminology, etc., etc. You could be a Crip one day and be a Blood next week. I've seen it. Shit, all races could join. It's like the fucking boys club, like the Boys and Girls Club of gangbangers, right? Shit, is the Boys and Girls Club still a thing? Can I even say that anymore? I mean, they combine the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts. I don't even know. This shit is fucking stupid. But yeah, anybody can become a Blood and Crip. There's no structure. But this group, you have to do some serious shit, and you have to be of a certain ethnicity or whatever the case may be. And it's crazy. And I think that's what he's trying to, because that's a group that stands in their way in terms of, like, if they did something to one of them, you know, there's obviously going to be retaliation. There's a lot of them that's here that's undocumented, you know. But the Bloods and Crips, you could just throw in a rap beef and that'll distract them for the next 5 to 10 years, you know. I don't know. Shit, how you think the Black Panthers fell apart? Look at Forrest Gump or Richard Aoki. Richie, are you okay? Are you okay, Richie? Richie Aoki is, I don't know if people ever seen these pictures of him, but he's like the Asian American that was down with the Panthers, like, since its inception. He was a firearms expert in the military. And he's supposedly the one that gave them the weapons. You know, when the Black Panthers went to patrol their own neighborhood and everything, he's the one that supplied them with the weapons. Richie Aoki. But supposedly he was an FBI informant. Let that sink in for a moment. So you get a guy that's not even part of, your group, and you let him in, and he was telling your information to the people that you're up against for the most part. I mean, I seen interviews of Richard Aoki, and people that still vouch for him being down with them or whatever the case may be, and I'm just like, I don't know about that. I don't know. That's just my honest observation, my honest opinion. I don't know. It's crazy, and it's just it shows that people need to just have a deeper respect for themselves. And the reason why I say that is because, like, even the Korean guy who pushed the black girl in the store, he had no respect for her because he knew that there was no consequences to be had. Like, he's not going to lose his store for that. He's not going to even go to jail for that. It may be depending on how much publicity this gets. I don't know. But he knows that, so he has no respect for her. The EMS worker with the Zayvion Parker story, the kidnapping story, he was talking to the woman, Kamisha, like really? Like, okay, that sounds weird. Like, whatever. Again, do you think if he was saying it to a woman that looked like him, would he question it? He'll be sympathetic towards the kid, if anything, right? Like, oh, whatever. Even if the kid's lying, it's just like, no, let's make sure the kid is okay, whatever the case may be. File your reports or whatever. Nope. And it's weird, and I really don't want to make a point of this, but the women in the stories all have bleached blonde hair. The girl that got pushed in the Korean store, she had bleached blonde hair. Zayvion Parker's mother, bleached blonde hair. And the Kamisha girl, bleached blonde hair. They have no respect for themselves. I'm not saying they have no respect for themselves as women or whatever the case may be, but, they believe that, blondes have more fun than blondes. And, it's just like, I don't see no white chick with Afro puffs. It's just like, let's just have some respect for ourselves. And then, even if we do, people still disrespect us. They still do. But if they see like this stereotype of an image, they're going to automatically judge us anyway. They automatically do. And it's just weird. And it's crazy. Like, I don't know. And you can see it clear as day. Like, even in the media, like, for instance, with the MS-13 story, right? Trump has no respect for them. He called them animals and things like that, right? Now, they do a bunch of violent crimes. Yes. But when the Santa Fe shooting happened, you see how quick he pivoted off of that? Even in the clip I played, he pivoted really quick. He's like, oh, you know what? That's sad. That's sad. On another note, I was like, wow, like you just say like pretty much, and yeah, whatever, I don't give a shit. And I'm just like, wow, how come he's not an animal? How come he's not a terrorist? He's doing exactly the same thing that these kids did, right? Told you about the story in Newark. When they executed these kids on the schoolyard. This guy pretty much did the same thing. Is he an animal? He's not going to say that. And then when you see, when I listen to stuff, and I guess again I make observations. You can fact check me to death or whatever. I was like, whatever. It's my observation. I observed something and it's like wow, that doesn't line up. That doesn't make sense to me. And it just doesn't. You know, so that's why I'm gonna make This Is America a series. You know, I don't know how long I'm even keep with the podcast, but you know, I just want to, you know, just share my opinions and observations on certain things that I think just looks weird, and it's obvious, but nobody's really talking about it in terms of like the major media outlets, and don't expect them to. They won't. Everything is for ratings or whatever the case may be. I don't get it. It's like they keep lying to people, and people are just like subscribing more. Like, hey, yeah, keep lying to me. Keep lying to me. I don't give a shit. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Jeff Flake, by the way, is thinking about running against Trump in 2020. That'll be interesting. We'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody does. Well, actually, they do. They have a system in place to kind of steer things in a direction. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Dead Monkeys in Outer Space podcast. This is America Part 2. And I will see you later. Peace.